Good morning, folks. It's the morning after the night before, so I'm doing this video last night. I know this video's gone out at 10 o'clock this morning, but a lot of things have happened while I'm at work. I was listening to the radio and two of Boris Johnson's top ministers have resigned. Both Rishi Sunak and Sajid David have buggered off, and quite a few under-ministers have gone as well. So it's a significant time and it's unprecedented in British politics that the Health Secretary and the Chancellor have resigned within 5 minutes apart. And it's all down to the Prime Minister's behaviour, really. So whether Boris Johnson has gone by the time I've put this video out, who knows? However, he has just appointed ministers to fill those two roles. And Boris does have a habit of getting out of stuff. He is like Teflon, nothing sticks to him, and he seems to survive. And so he lingers like a bad smell. Now let me get one thing straight. Boris Johnson wasn't voted because of his personality, or because people, including myself, thought he was a fantastic politician who would make the greatest Prime Minister ever. He has always been seen as a bit of a clown, a bumbling idiot. And yes, even though he did win that election 2 and a bit years ago with a landslide, it wasn't because of him. The British public at the time, myself included, sent a huge message, a decisive message to the Labour Party that the British public, that Great Britain will not and will never, ever tolerate a far left-wing extremist or Marxists as our country's leaders. We have no time for people like Jeremy Corbyn and John McDonnell and what they were preaching. Yes, Britain is in a bit of a state now, but can you imagine Britain under Jeremy Corbyn and John McDonnell with extreme socialist policies? I can guarantee you, folks, and it's hard to believe, but it would be harder than this now. It would be worse. So, as the title of my video suggests, a pervert sinks Boris Johnson. Well, that's exactly it. It's all because of Chris Pincher MP. Now, I made a video about this guy a few days ago, and the allegations that he went into a gay bar and sexually assaulted two civvies, two men. But this is the lie, you see, that got Boris Johnson sunk, and it will sink him, folks. He will not be around by Christmas, I can assure you. He lied that he did not know about these allegations before appointing Chris Pincher to the job of Deputy Chief Whip, when in fact he did. And it's these little lies that have caught up with him now, because there's a paper trail because of all this. And that's all he's done. He's lied. Then he says he forgot about it, didn't know about it, and he's sorry, and puts this sob story. Well, he's the boy who cried wolf. People don't believe him anymore. So every lie he has said has been like a brick in a wall. And that wall has steadily built up over time. And now that wall is what divides him between his ministers and the public, because we don't believe him. And it's that brick wall that will eventually fall on top of him and crush him. And that's in the process of happening right now. Boris Johnson is finished, and I think it's going to take the 1922 committee to drag him kicking and screaming out of Downing Street, because I don't think he's the type of guy to quit. I mean, it's astonishing. He led the Conservative Party to a huge majority victory a few years ago over Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party. And in less than 3 years, it's all come crashing down. And it's all because of him and his lies. Plus the fact they're doing absolutely fuck all about the cost of living crisis, but adding to it. And so to finish, you may think that this is enough for people to vote Labour in and have Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. But remember, this guy hasn't been much of an opposition to Boris Johnson and his policies. And this Labour Party, they are very much for a stronger, harder lockdown, which would completely screw the economy. And don't think for a minute that they are cleaner, more squeaky clean than the Tories. Yes, the Tories have had a few people, well, 1 or 2 people put in jail, and they are knee-deep or chest-deep in corruption. But the Labour Party have had at least 8 people jailed, prison sentences, in the past 10 years. You had Keith Vaz, Labour MP, and his depravity, and that's not even mentioning Lord Ahmed of Rotherham of all places, and that's just 2 sick puppies right there. So really there is no alternative to Boris Johnson and the Conservatives. And so to finish, I really hope that out of the ashes of all this, everything that's gone on recently, the cost of living crisis, the watered down Brexit, people trying to stop Brexit, our free speech under heavy attack by oppressive left-wing extremists and Marxists, and a new leader, a Thatcherite, Trumpist type person comes out of all this, a hard-nosed, patriotic, anti-EU conservative, a real conservative, folks. We haven't had a real conservative leader, a prime minister, since Thatcher, and that's the kind of person we need, a hard-nosed person who doesn't take bullshit. So there we go. If you pray hard, we might get one. Anyway, that's my video. That's what I think. Hope you like. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next time, Roger Trout.